Hello people, it's Michael again, and I'm at one of my favourite places. I'm at the Science Museum in London. Today I'm going to have a stroll around, look at a few places. Okay, I am going to turn around now. I'll turn the camera around so you can see everything that's going on here. Okay, so this great thing here is it's actually called a mural, and it was made for King George III, just so that he could see observe the skies, his astronomy through. You see that great big telescope there. That's what he used to observe the skies at night. One second. After permission, I got an after permission, and I got an email with permission in my email.
Okay, can you see?
It's on here.
It's not like
Okay, let me show you. One second, people. I will be back shortly.
it's video conference.
Pardon? One second. I actually gained permission before I came here, so I've got permission in writing from him. I just had to show it to him. Anyway, let's get back to it. Hi, Bonnie. I'm doing good. Anyway, let's get around and have a look at a few things in this fantastic museum. This here is one great big telescope. Look at that. This actual telescope was used to discover the planet Uranus, and it was used by this gentleman here called William Herschel. He was around in the 1800s, and he actually discovered the planet Uranus with this massive great telescope. You see this here, this is a globe. It's not like a normal globe. You know, you see a globe and you see Africa, you see all the continents, all the countries, all this. This actually is a globe of the moon. It's a globe of the surface of the moon, and it was designed by a gentleman called John Russell, he was actually an artist, but he had a keen fascination with the moon and the solar system. Let's take a look around some quadrants used for surveys. Let's just go around here. The there's the clock section over there that I want to show you something. There's this really they've got some really fascinating clocks, or what were they called? Is it horology or something like that? No, that's more. Is that what it's called? Give me a thumbs up. Bonnie, it's not that busy today, you know. Okay, look at some of these clocks. Look at that. I've got some fantastic pieces here. Old and pocket watches that the gentleman used to have on a chain. Some great big grandfather clocks. There's some more grandfather clocks over there. Yes, horology. Sacha, I don't know if you ever watched Only Fools and Horses. There was a scene there about horology. Look at these wonderful watches. These must be worth a fortune now. Got some more. Yeah. There's one clock that I want you to see over here. Can you see that clock in the corner there with the scale? That clock there. I love that clock. That's a fascinating clock. It's that ball bearing. It goes down, and when it reaches the end, it tips the scale, and it starts going back. That is supposed to help it tell the time. Unfortunately, it's not very accurate. I mean, I actually measured it. I timed it from one end to the other, and it's about 17.7 seconds. It's called a rolling ball clock, and it was made by E. Dent and Co. Now, I would say it's more decorative than accurate, but it's really a fantastic looking piece. This is more 20th century stuff. This is a turret clock, and it's normally you'd normally see something like this in church towers. That's the one. That's horology is the episode of Only Fools and Horses where they find a clock stroke timepiece, and it's worth millions. Alright. See what we have here. Oh, there's something around here that would interest anyone. This is Guinevere, and it's the first lottery machine. When the National Lottery came out in England, this is the first machine that was used to pick the numbers, called Guinevere. Unfortunately, it didn't pick my numbers. If it had, well, as Dilboy would say, we'd be millionaires. there's quite a few. This area is where there's lots of stuff about communication, satellites, computers. That little thing over there, I say little thing, it's not that little, but in its day it was considered little. This is a PDP-8 and it's the first mini computer. It's built in 1965. Before that, most of the computers were massive great things. But this, I mean, I'm sure everybody's got a laptop. And look at the size of your laptop. This would have been considered like a laptop back in 65. And this is a calculator, or should I say a calculating machine anyway. Circa 1939. That's computers for you. They started out big and got bigger, and then they got smaller. This is the information age section we're going into. It's got everything up until the current period. Let's see what we got around this side. I'm going to take you towards the back end there, where they've got small TVs. Where BBC used to broadcast. Look at that. That's an old-time TV. It's gone off now, but it's quite topical. That's a old TV, and that's a television program, live broadcast at the time of Queen Elizabeth's coronation. So it's quite topical. That's the BBC broadcast at the time.
Sovereign escort of the household camel.
That is one of the TVs of the 1950s. There's a Bush TV. It's quite mass-produced. Considering the times, it was quite affordable for people. Anybody who's watched the series Grantchester, there was a scene in there where one of the lead actors, Geordie, his wife wanted to buy a TV just exactly like that. Yeah. 1953, Radio Times Coronation Edition. That was the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II.
Her Majesty really on her head to guide.
More old-time TVs. Now we're coming nearer to the current time. Sky HD. So see, more current times. That at the back there, that's the PlayStation 3. I think it's now up to PlayStation 5, I think. Apple TV. Anybody recall what that is? That was built in 1964, and when it was built it was called the Post Office Tower. It's now called the BT Tower, but it was really iconic. Well, it still is an iconic building actually, but at the time it was really iconic. Yeah, Satchan, BT Tower, it was, when it was built, it was originally called the Post Office Tower. Let's go around here and have a look at some of the stuff we have here. Can you see that bike in the corner there? Anyone guess what that is? Before I go over? Come on, people. Anyone guess what that is? Alright, you'll see in a minute. Look. That is the Google Street View bicycle. That's what they used to, in the beginning, to do Google Maps. So someone would just cycle around the streets of, I don't know, LA, San Francisco, wherever, and map out, take pictures and constant filming. And that's how Google Maps started. We've got that's Telstar. That's Telstar. Telstar was a satellite that was used to communicate between the US and the UK, and it beamed through programs at US, UK, and France. It beamed programs in between all three countries. I mean, the picture at the time, it was all black and white, but it was still something, at the time, it was something really, really unique. We've got some GPS handphones. They're the original, really early GPS receivers. Those were around the time of the first Gulf War. God, that's a long time ago. I mean, it doesn't seem it, but it's a long. So the Gulf War was quite a long time ago. When Tony Blair took us into his war, and George Bush was looking for weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist. Look at that cake box, that cardboard box for a cake. Oh, I'd love an old time fruit cake. Go down well. You know the fruit cakes that used to make in the 60s. you know, for Christmas. Oh yeah. We're coming to more modern times now. That's the IBM. Well, I say more modern times. I mean, if you had that, mind you, I was going to say if you had that in your living room, it would be kind of old school, but it'd be worth a bomb, especially if it was in good working condition. Anyone remember floppy disks? That's a double floppy disk. That's the original Apple Mac computer with your floppy disk, and you see the little mouse at the right. My accountant had one of them in the around about 1980, 81. And at the time, I looked at it and I thought, wow, that's something else. Isn't that awesome? He used to do all his accounts on there, and he put it onto the floppy disk. Old school mobile phones. One of the first lot of mobile phones. There's one phone that I want to show you if I can find it. Yeah, it's over here. You see that brick phone there? I used to have one of those, and when I bought it, the cost of calls was, I think, a call was about 33p or something per minute. And the first month that I got that phone, I actually, my bill was over £200 because it was like a novelty. I mean, I'd phone up friends and whatnot, talk on my new mobile phone, and it used to have like an aerial coming out the top there. After that first month, I stopped using it. £200, and that was in the. When was that? That was in the 80s. It's a lot of money then to pay. Got some nice phones here as well. That Nokia one there with the keyboard, I love that. That looks really nice. Got more mobiles. Got a Nokia. I think there's a Nokia there. That one there, that one there, right in the middle, the brown one. That's one of the most popular phones ever. That Nokia. And then you've got the BlackBerry. That's a counterfeit actually, and the Nokia is a counterfeit. Those Blackberries, they're really good. The only thing that I found about the Blackberries though was that because the keys were so close together, it was really kind of difficult to send messages and whatnot. You know, you kept on making mistakes. Anyway, let's go downstairs. Go down here. Let's go to the medicine gallery, where we'll see things about medicine through the ages and how hospitals used to hospitals, doctors and medical professionals used to act through the ages. We've actually got a replica old pharmacy there. Alright, we are now in the medicine section. Alright, this is supposed to be like a reception area for a hospital. As you can see, all the signs up there and the chairs that you would sit on. This is a replica hospital. It's a model hospital. It's scaled 1 to, I think it's 1 to 16. And it was actually made to take her around the country to just basically to big up the NHS, really. Look, you can see what they're like inside. So you've got operating theatres in there, dining rooms at the bottom. And you've got hospital wards. That looks like baby wards there. Yeah, this was made in 1932. It was taken all around the country just to, give people an idea of what NHS hospitals were like, and also to put a bit of pride, in NHS. You see that big fella there? That's basically a training dummy for ambulance, fire people, etc. It's supposed to be someone who's obese in the UK, and they used it, the health professionals, the ambulance people used it to train on how to really, carry or treat someone who was obese. And apparently it's very scary, because apparently 2/3 of the people in the UK at the moment, 2/3, that's like 66% of people in the UK are either overweight or obese. That's partly, I guess, due to the fast food culture that we have nowadays. I mean, people, fast food, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, etc. People tend not to cook that much anymore. Look at this thing here. This is called the iron lung. Look at that. It was actually used to treat people that had polio, because when you had polio, you couldn't really breathe well. Your lungs didn't function properly. So this thing here was used they'd put you inside, and your head would stick out there, and it would help you breathe. Basically, it would help your lungs breathe. Yeah, it would help your lungs function. So imagine you had polio and you couldn't actually breathe. Oh, and all of a sudden they put you in there, and voila, your lungs are functioning. That is for it's sort of isolation unit. You remember when people had when they had that big Ebola thing. They'd come and put them inside something like that. So isolator. They've got a spooky thing over here. Look at that. Basically, it's depicting death and dying. It's funny because it's got on that bed sheet. If you can look at, you can see in the corner there. There's a little NHS sticker on it. What they're trying to say? They're trying to say that you go into the NHS and you kick the bucket. All these are statues and gods and goddesses to do with life and death. Right in the corner, right over there, are Sri Lankan masks that are used to in rituals, like to ward off evil spirits and to help cure people. They put them on and have dances at night around the sick person, and they'd be used hopefully to cure the person of sickness. How about we go and get our prescription and pop around to the pharmacy to pay out £9.85 for our medicine or whatever, and we go into Gibson and Son chemists. So we go up to the counter and hand over our prescription to the chemist and say, here's my prescription, sir. And he goes round the back, mixes up some gelatin lozenges, a couple of antiseptic throat pastils, some glycerine with blackcurrant, hands it over to you, and you just hand over your cash for your prescription. Mind you, by this time, prescriptions would have been free, when this was around. Now you have to pay like £9.85 for a prescription. Or we could pop over this side and get some chocolates. Roundtree's chocolates, or some toothpaste, a bit of Fry's chocolate creams. Bovril. Anyone remember Bovril? You either like it, it's a bit like Marmite. Okay, yeah, they got Marmite next to it. So you either love it or you hate it. Cadbury's chocolate. I don't know anybody who hates Cadbury's chocolate. So we filled our prescription and we're now out and about, feeling a bit healthier. We've got all our medicines as we have here. Salbutamol, that's nebulized. Yeah, salbutamol. That's basically if you've got asthma. Because my son has asthma and I know he used to have that. £1.70, £1.07 and 6p. Yeah. So this is more the medical sector, coming up to near enough modernish day, but these are prosthetic legs, like kids that had thalidomide and yeah. Do you remember thalidomide in the 60s? I think they gave them that drug, and it basically caused so many children to be born without arms and legs. We're going to be going down here soon, you see, on the ground floor. This is my favourite section. Actually, my favourite section is on the ground floor, but you can't see it here. It's actually underneath where we're standing now. It's the space section. When I was a kid, I used to love a program called Lost in Space. Oh, I loved that. And then when I got a bit older, it used to be like Mork and Mindy, Nanu Nanu. Alright, we've got some more prosthetic limbs here. Starting from really kind of basic ones up there, right down to the much more modern ones. Like these are more athletic ones. Remember, yeah, Osteoporosis. He used to have limbs like he was probably one of the first that had prosthetic limbs like that. Now they're much more common. I mean, if you're a kind of like a Olympic level, an Olympic level athlete or a national level athlete, you will have a prosthetic like that. That's obviously that's if you your lower limbs are the issue. All right, let's go downstairs to the space section and the flight section. Well, more the space section, because the flight section, the flight gallery is actually upstairs. All right, here we go. All right. we are going to be exploring space. The space capsules, the spacecrafts, the Soyuz and Apollo spacecrafts. Look at this one up the top. I'll show you. And over here too.
This means it might take 1,400 years to reach it, while a spacecraft will take 25
These are from the 50s. They're actually launch rockets.
We're using it to move our neighbours planets far and away in deep space.
This is from 1962. And that engine there is 1966. That's a Soyuz rocket. Soyuz was Russian. These ones were British from the 50s to mid-60s. Called Black Knight. Even though Brits didn't actually land on the moon till late on, but they did fire rockets up there. That is a Soyuz capsule. Basically, it would split from the launch rocket. So basically, that's the launch rocket, and as you can see at the top there is the capsule, and that is the capsule there where the astronauts would be in. It's tiny. Look at the size of it inside. It's very, very compact inside. And then you got a big one here. You can see the size compared to the astronaut there. Spaceman. This is Apollo from 1969. Apparently, this is about washing in space, and there wasn't really that much water that they could use. No baths for 3 years. Yeah. Astronauts that were at the International Space Station for that long. Must have been a bit whiffy.
Factories in space are still many years in the future.
Quite weightless. Because there's no gravity basically up there, you can see.
Processing drugs. This continuous flow of electrification carried toward the American space program.
Alright. This part we're coming to is for all you petrol heads that like your wheels. Maybe combustion engines. Trains, steam trains. More combustion engines. And that looks like a weaving machine. Like a loom. Yeah, it's a power loom. I bet it could still work today. That's for all the kids among you that love their trains. I somehow don't think that there's any power steering on this vehicle here. Can you imagine taking this on a delivery? You'd probably do one every 2 hours. It would take that long. That looks like a powerful speedboat. It looks like something that was probably used for some kind of speed record attempt. Yeah, world speed record contender. Okay, this is called Miss England. And, oh, this is 1929. This is old. It was used to, on a world speed record. Or at least an attempt at it. That's some classic car. It's like a three-seater inside. Look at those cushions inside. Look at those seats. There must have been small people in them days for that to be a three-seater. The old Vespa. I bet I'd love that in Italy. Where's that from? That looks like something that you'd probably find in like Poland or somewhere. Oh, that's German. That's a BMW. Ooh. Imagine you got a new date. You're going out with this, lovely lady, and she asks you what you drive. Oh, just a BMW. Oh, shall we go for a spin then? Okay. And you get outside and you say, here it is. It's unique anyway. It certainly is unique. Let's look at it better from this side. This was from the Apollo program. This is the Apollo 10 capsule. You'd have to be, for 2 or 3 astronauts to be in that over a good period of time, you'd have to get on really well with them. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, 2 wheels. Anyone remember choppers? Did you have a chopper when you were a kid? I didn't. Although I wouldn't have minded one. But my parents never got round to getting me one, unfortunately. What have we here? Hello. So you got your handcuffs, your policeman's helmet, you got your nightstick, you got your pepper spray, and you got that belt. Not that I know anything about them, of course, being such a law-abiding citizen. Okay, so tell me what we've got here. We've got the old microwave, we've got the beer dispenser. What's that over there? Don't know what that is. Let's see what is that? 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to find out what that is. I can't find what that is. Oh, anyone who's into their music back in the day will know the Technics SL 1200s. Those are the most iconic turntables you could ever get. And even though those, you see those turntables there are probably 40 years old. You know, they still sell for hundreds. I mean, one of those would probably sell for about, I don't know, maybe 500 quid, because they're such classics. They actually brought out a gold range a few years back, and they were selling them for like £900 each. You got your Apple Mac there? Yeah, it was that was a bubble car. Oh, look at that. A car in two. That looks like a Austin Minor, something like that. Morris Minor, yeah. Morris Minor. What's that, the QE2 or something like that? Cruising ship? Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh, well, a cruise liner from the 20s. That's like a World War II bomber. Well, not exactly a bomber, but you know, a plane. Because bombers would have been much bigger than that. Let's see if we can see anything here that we know. Littlewoods Pools, the forerunner for the lottery. Fairy soap. What I want to know is, where's the Afro Sheen? Oh yeah, payphones. The old style payphones. Well, people, we are coming to, is that that's, can't be another iron lung, can it? It looks like it. Yeah, it is. It's another iron lung. Yeah. God, that's... Imagine if you were a kid and you had polio and they actually stuck you in one of those. You'd be scared. But I guess once they put you in and you could breathe really easily, you'd kind of get used to it and be much happier. Anyway, people, I hope you've enjoyed the trip today, and I hope you've seen some stuff that you like and you remember if you're of my age, and if you aren't of my age, I hope you've seen stuff that you enjoyed. So, anyway, as they say, if you do like this video, just click the thumbs up button and like it, please. And if you'd like to see more, just subscribe to the channel. And I will see you again soon. Okay.